There's a version of you that must die. Not tomorrow, not later, now. A version so small, so soft, so scared, it has clung to your bones like a parasite, whispering doubt, selling lies, holding your future hostage. You know the one. It's the voice that says, play it safe. The one that talks you out of risk. The one that needs approval. That folds under pressure. That chooses comfort over conviction. Distraction over discipline. Illusion over identity. And if you let it live, you will never know who you could have been. This isn't about improvement. This isn't about getting better. This is about rebirth. You cannot carry that weak version of yourself into the life you say you want. You cannot bring the coward to the battlefield of greatness. That version must be killed, buried, forgotten. Because the life you're chasing, the dream you can't let go of, the freedom you crave, the strength you admire, the fire you envy in others, that life demands a stronger you, and strength is earned, not given, not gifted, not inherited, forged through pressure, through failure, through war. And make no mistake, this is war. A war between who you were and who you are becoming. Between the old you, the one addicted to excuses, and the real you, the one clawing for breath beneath the surface. And this is where most people lose. They negotiate with the weak version. They try to inspire it, motivate it, bargain with it. But you cannot reason with what's killing you. You must destroy it. That means cutting ties with your old patterns, your old stories, your old circle if you have to. That means no longer identifying with who you were on your worst day. That means doing the thing you've been avoiding, not once, but until it no longer scares you. Discipline is the blade. Action is the hammer. Relentless, ruthless self-leadership is the fire that purifies. You kill the weak version by starving it. You starve it of your time. You starve it of your attention. You stop feeding it with your victimhood, your laziness, your self-pity. And then you build brick by brick, rep by rep, day by day. You build the version of you that no longer asks for life to get easier. The version that gets harder to kill. That's what you want, isn't it? A self that doesn't flinch in the fire. A mind that doesn't fold when it's alone. A heart that doesn't break at the first sign of resistance. Then you must train that on purpose every day. You train it when no one's watching. You train it when you don't feel like it. You train it when it's inconvenient, when it hurts, when you've failed and bled and still choose to show up. Because this world does not reward the weak, it devours them. And no one is coming to save you from yourself. So stop waiting. Stop fantasizing about a future you're not willing to suffer for. Stop scrolling through lives you envy while refusing to kill the version of you that keeps you stuck. You want power? Kill weakness. You want purpose? Kill passivity. You want freedom? Kill the you that settles. And I get it. That version feels safe. It's familiar. It's easy. It's predictable. But it's a lie. And the longer you live in it, the harder it becomes to escape. So take this seriously. Take your life seriously. You have no idea who you could become if you stopped carrying dead weight. If you stopped defending mediocrity. If you stopped choosing what's easy over what's right. Look in the mirror and be honest. Is that the face of your future or the ghost of your past? Because one of you is going to win. Only one. You can't serve both. You can't build and cling. You can't rise and stay. You can't grow and please. You can't run and rest. You must choose. Now, kill that weak version of yourself or become it. And if you become it, if you let that weak version live, then understand this. You will watch life from behind glass. You will observe while others rise. You will stand in the shadows of men and women who bled for their calling, while you justified your retreat with comfort and comparison. That version of you will never lead. It will never love fully. It will never step into greatness because it's too obsessed with safety. But safety is not success. Safety is not freedom. Safety is the cage lined with soft lies and hard regret. And every time you choose not to act, that version grows stronger. It gets bolder. It sharpens its claws. It learns your patterns, your habits, your triggers, until one day it becomes you. And the true you, the one who dreamt as a child, the one who saw mountains and wanted to climb, the one who felt destiny in their chest, like thunder ready to break loose, that version will die quietly, inside, not from lack of love, not from lack of talent, but from your permission. You allowed it. You welcomed weakness. You protected the very thing that is killing your fire. So now what? You kill it, and you do it without apology, without hesitation, without guilt. You kill the version of you that snoozes the alarm, the version that says, tomorrow, the version that waits for signs instead of making moves, the version that hides when life gets hard, the version that speaks softly when you should roar, the version that blends in, dims down, shrinks back. You kill it by deciding right now that you're done negotiating with your lesser self, done making excuses for a life you were never meant to settle for, done delaying your evolution just because change feels like pain. Yes, it hurts, but that pain, that's the price of freedom. That's the cost of becoming. That's the fire you walk through to earn the name you've been too afraid to claim. You kill it every time you say, I'm not that person anymore. And then you prove it with your choices, with your energy, with your standards. You don't need more inspiration. You need execution. You need consistency so sharp it slices through every excuse. You need to become the version of you that doesn't just dream, but does. The version that wakes up with hunger, that speaks with weight, that moves with precision, that refuses to be soft, unfocused, emotional about things that don't matter. Discipline, direction, dominance. You build it, you choose it, and you kill anything in you that resists it, because the clock is ticking. And every day you hesitate, the weak version wins. But not today, not anymore. Today, the war ends. Today, you stop waiting for permission. Today, you become the killer of your past, the architect of your identity, the executioner of excuses. Today, you rise. And when you rise, truly rise, you do not bring the past with you. You do not carry the wounds like trophies. You do not replay the betrayals, the failures, the guilt like a broken record. You bury it. You burn it. You bless it and move. Because that weak version of you was addicted to storytelling, to drama, to the same 5 excuses recycled in different seasons, but not anymore. The real you doesn't tell stories. The real you writes them, page by page, sweat by sweat, one decision at a time. You want power? Step into pain. You want truth? Strip away comfort. You want results? Get ruthless, not with others. With yourself, ruthless about your focus, about your habits, about your self-talk, about your inner circle, because the weak version of you had too many lifelines, too many distractions, too many people patting you on the back while your potential bled out. But not anymore. Now you walk alone, if you have to. Now you train like no one's watching. Now you build like the world is already yours, and you're just catching up to it. This is not about motivation anymore. Motivation is a spark. This is about transformation. And transformation requires violence, a violent divorce from the identity that no longer serves you. Because you can't be soft in a world that's hard. You can't be passive in a life that demands pressure. You can't be lukewarm in a destiny that requires fire. So, set yourself on fire. Burn the fear. Burn the doubt. Burn the old version of you that blinked in the face of greatness and called it humility. It was never humility. It was hesitation. And hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever could. You don't need to be more talented. You don't need to be more qualified. You need to be committed. Committed to killing what's weak. Committed to building what's real. Committed to living like your soul is finally at the wheel. No more compromise. No more comfort. No more hiding behind your potential. You were born to execute. Born to dominate your space. Born to lead yourself with such power that others rise just from watching you breathe. But first, kill the imposter, the soft version, the scared voice, the victim mask. Kill it now, because the clock is not waiting. And your future, it's not asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be relentless. Relentless doesn't mean loud. It doesn't mean angry. It means certain. It means immovable, unshakable. It means you've buried the version of you that used to flinch, and now you fight. You fight for your future with every breath. You protect your peace like it's sacred ground. You show up over and over again because your standard no longer allows you to disappear. That weak version of you, it begged for balance. But you demand breakthrough. It sought comfort while you now create discomfort. because you know that's where the gold is buried. You lean into the resistance because resistance is proof of forward motion. You feel the fear and walk anyway. You hear the voice of doubt but speak louder. You feel the pull of mediocrity but you don't budge. You stare down your past and say, you don't live here anymore. You look your habits in the face and say, that ends today. You rip every excuse from your mouth and replace it with action. You are no longer a prisoner of emotion. You are the general of your execution. You do what's required, not when you feel like it, but because you said you would. Because now, your word is law. Your presence has weight. Your energy commands respect without speaking. Because you are respect. You've earned it. Through fire. People will ask you what changed, how you flipped the switch, what secret you found. And the truth, you killed the version of yourself that waited. You buried the one that whined. You silenced the voice that begged for ease. And you built the one who moves mountains by showing up with shovel in hand every single day. This is who you are now. Not because life got easier, but because you got harder to break. Your pain became purpose. Your discipline became identity. Your vision became non-negotiable. You stopped chasing motivation. And you started living by standards. Because when your standards rise, your excuses die. And in their place, results, power, peace, fire. So burn it all down. Every weakness, every excuse, every false identity. Turn it into ash. And from that ash, rise, unrecognizable, unapologetic, unstoppable. Because you didn't just kill the weak version of yourself. You replaced it with someone the world will never forget. And that someone, the new you, is not built in theory, not crafted in daydreams or declarations. They are forged in reality. Beneath pressure, beneath fatigue, beneath every moment where the old you would have cracked, but this version refuses to fold. Because this version doesn't just chase goals. They embody the standard. They walk into every room like they belong because they earned it. Not with noise, but with proof. They show up. They execute. They deliver. Not once. Not sometimes. Always. Because the kill wasn't just symbolic. It was surgical. You cut out every belief that said, I'm not ready. Every habit that said, just this once. Every identity that said, play it safe. You didn't negotiate with your demons. You outworked them. You outlasted them. You starved them until all that was left was fire. And fire doesn't ask for fuel. It creates its own. It burns through doubt, through distraction, through the noise of a world addicted to comfort. Because now you see the truth. Success is not complicated. It's not mystical. It's not reserved for the chosen. It's reserved for the disciplined, for the ruthless, for the ones who got tired of hearing their own excuses echo and finally did something about it. So here you are. No mask, no compromise, no weakness left to carry. Only the grind, only the mission. Only the version of you who wakes up starving for impact. You don't want praise. You want results. You don't want rest. You want relentlessness. Because now you remember. You remember why you started. You remember what it costs to become this version. You remember every tear you swallowed, every night you didn't quit, every battle you fought in silence when no one saw you, but you kept swinging. And now you're here, not perfect, but proven, not finished, but forged, not waiting, but winning. And the world, it will try to pull you back, offer you comfort, tempt you with applause, but you won't go because you're not that version anymore. You're the one who killed weakness, the one who chose war over sleep, purpose over pleasure, legacy over likes. So hold the line, sharpen your sword, and don't ever, ever resurrect the version of you that settled. Let that version stay dead because the warrior you've become, they've got work to do. And that work, that sacred, unrelenting work, is not about proving anything to the world. It's about proving it to you. To the kid who once dreamed without limits. To the warrior inside who never wanted easy, only real. You didn't come this far to go back. You didn't kill the weak version just to flirt with comfort again. You didn't break chains just to wear them as jewelry. You came here to build, to bleed, to break ground where no one else would. To make your life a monument to discipline, to courage, to becoming. So build it. Build the body that moves with intention, not insecurity. Build the mind that can't be rattled by noise or rejection. Build the spirit that doesn't bow to setbacks, it feeds on them. Because this version of you doesn't need hype. They are the standard. They don't need momentum, they create it. They don't wait to feel ready, they move and let readiness catch up. And when doubt returns, and it will, don't run. Smile, because its presence is proof you're pushing the limit. And that's exactly where you're supposed to be. Because people like you weren't built for the middle. You were built to burn. You were built to make people question what's possible. You were built to make your old self unrecognizable. You were built to walk into hell, plant a flag, and say, I run this now. But hear me, this isn't a phase. This is your identity now. This isn't a temporary motivation. This is who you are. You don't just kill the weak version once. You kill it every single day. With your choices, with your language, with your level, with your discipline. Every morning, you rise and bury the softness. Every night, you sleep with the satisfaction that you gave it everything. No half steps, no loopholes, no pretending. Because when you live like that fully, relentlessly, you stop chasing purpose and you become it. So here's your truth. The old you is gone. And what's left? Unbreakable, unstoppable, undeniable. Now go earn the next version. Go build the next level. Go become the next fire. Because you don't just kill the weak version of yourself once. You kill it again and again until there's nothing left to kill but greatness itself. And when there's nothing left to kill but greatness, you face the highest mountain of all, maintaining it. Because killing the weak version isn't the end of the war. It's the beginning of a new kind of battle, not against failure, but against comfort, dressed as success. Because once you rise, once you conquer that inner enemy, once you taste what it means to be the strongest version of yourself, the next test arrives. Will you sustain the fire when no one's watching? Will you keep climbing when the applause fades? Will you still wake up hungry after the world starts calling you great? That's the difference between those who visit greatness and those who become it. Because true greatness, the kind that echoes through generations, isn't a moment. It's a maintenance of identity. It's the commitment to keep evolving, keep sharpening, keep killing any fragment of the old self that tries to crawl back in. So stay dangerous, stay on edge, not anxious, not frantic, but alert, disciplined, relentless in protecting what you've built. Because the moment you slip back into old habits, the moment you start seeking comfort again, the weak version knocks at your door with a soft voice and a sweet smile, pretending to be you. But you'll know better now. You'll feel it, you'll hear it, and you'll respond the only way a true warrior does. With action, with execution, with truth, because that's who you are now, not a dreamer. A doer, not a talker. A builder, not a pretender. A killer of weakness, and a servant to no one but your calling. So protect the mission. Keep sharpening the blade. Keep feeding the fire. Keep walking with your chest high and your eyes locked on the next summit. Because there is no finish line for those who lead themselves. There is only the next test, the next edge, the next you. And the world, it won't understand this hunger. It won't understand why you keep pushing when you could rest. Why you keep rising when you could coast. Why you still sharpen steel. When they think you've already won. But you know why? Because the real ones never stop. They never settle. They never soften. They never become the version they already buried. You know what you've killed. You know what it took, and you know what must be done to never go back. So move like you've burned the boats. Act like there's no backup plan. Build like your name depends on it. Live like your soul is on the line. Because it is. And now, the weak version of you, they're not coming back. Not while you're breathing. Not while you're building. Not while you're becoming. Because you killed them once. And you'll kill them every day. Until your last breath is proof that you lived as fire and never once looked back. Because there's no glory in looking back at the chains you broke. Only responsibility to never pick them up again. No pride in remembering who you used to be. Only fire to make damn sure you never return there. You didn't do all this to entertain nostalgia. You didn't wage war on mediocrity just to flirt with it when you're tired. You didn't come this far to stop here. You came to dominate. And domination isn't noise. It's presence. It's walking into a room, into a challenge, into your own future. And owning every square inch like it already has your name on it. Because it does. Not because someone gave it to you, but because you took it. You bled for it. You sacrificed for it. And now it's yours to carry. Not just in your habits, but in your being. In how you walk, in how you speak, in how you look people in the eye, and no longer ask permission to be great. You are great because you earned that identity with war. You tore yourself apart to rebuild something divine. You killed the weak version of yourself, and what rose from the ashes was unshakable. So walk with weight, speak with fire, move with precision, live with conviction so deep the old you wouldn't recognize it as possible. This is your edge. Live on it, sharpen it, guard it like it's your crown because it is. And when the doubt comes again, as it always does, let it find no home in you. Let it echo off your armor and fall to dust because you've tasted discipline, you've tasted pain, you've tasted sacrifice, and you've won. You didn't just kill the weakness. You buried it in the shadow of who you became. And that shadow, it's no longer fear, it's legacy. And from now on, the world won't remember you for what you avoided. It will remember you for what you faced, for the old version you refused to protect, for the standard you became when everyone else stayed silent. So rise every damn day and carry the crown you built with your own blood, the one that says loud and clear to the world and to your past, I am not him, I am not her. I am not the one who quits. I am the one who kills weakness and builds greatness in its place. And that greatness, it doesn't scream, it doesn't boast. It doesn't need validation, praise, or permission. It moves, it executes, it delivers. And when you walk with that kind of power, true, forged in fire power, you don't need to convince anyone of who you are. Your presence declares it. Because real power is quiet, not silent, but centered, not desperate, but decisive. That's the version of you the world was waiting for. The version who doesn't just read books on change, but becomes the change. Who doesn't just dream about the future, but builds it while others sleep. Who doesn't just talk about killing weakness, but buries it 6 feet deep under a legacy of execution. You are not here to dabble in transformation. You are not here to chase the mood. You are here to master the mission, to walk every day like your soul is on the line, because it is, and let the others laugh. Let them mock. Let them scroll. Let them wait for signs. While they sip comfort, you craft legacy. While they settle for potential, you sharpen identity. While they preserve their weakness, you burn yours alive. Because this life doesn't belong to the weak. It belongs to the warrior, the builder. The quiet storm with hands that never stop moving and a heart that never bows. So here's your charge. Never resurrect the version of you that doubted. Never revive the identity you outgrew. Never breathe life into weakness once you've seen what strength tastes like. Keep rising. Keep moving. Keep killing until the only thing left in your wake is a life so full, so focused, so undeniably forged in purpose that when you leave this world, you leave nothing behind but proof. Proof that you were here. Proof that you didn't flinch. Proof that when the time came to choose between comfort and greatness, you didn't hesitate. You picked up the sword and killed that weak version of yourself. Again and again and again until there was nothing left to bury but a legacy that will never die. And that legacy, it's not your name etched in marble. It's not likes on a post or numbers on a screen. It's not noise. It's not flash. It's impact. It's who you became when no one was watching. It's how many lives you lit on fire just by refusing to dim. It's the echo you leave in the lives of those who rise because you chose not to fall, and they will rise. Not because you told them to, but because you showed them how. Because the moment you killed that weak version of yourself, you gave others permission to do the same. You became a living invitation to evolution, a breathing blueprint of what's possible when discipline becomes your DNA. And from this day forward, that's what you carry. Not pressure, but power. Not burden, but torch. And you hold that torch high through storms, through silence, through every voice that told you to quit. Because it's not just about you anymore. It never was. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs examples. The kind that speak with their life, not their lips. The kind that fight in the dark and never beg for applause. The kind that kill the weak version every single day. So others can be free to do the same. And when your body breaks, when your time ends, when your breath fades, you'll go with peace. Because you'll know you didn't leave your greatness behind. You lived it. You didn't just write the script. You performed it with blood, with scars, with unapologetic intensity. So when they speak your name, let them say it with reverence. Let them say it with fire in their voice. Let them say, that one didn't settle. That one didn't fold. That one didn't carry weakness into the grave. They killed it. They led themselves, and they left behind more than words. They left a standard. So this is the final vow. You are done explaining. You are done hesitating. You are done entertaining the version of you that begged to stay small. From this moment until your final moment, you carry one mission, with clarity, with fury, with honor. Kill the weak version of yourself and live every breath in service of who you were truly born to be. Yes.